my work in bringing the panda to the city of Toronto. Cuddly, beautiful, everybody loves it. They want to be able to pet it and touch it until the panda rips your arms off. And our communities. But don't you see that other people are seeing this as an opportunity? You just heard from staff saying, yeah, it can be about bicycle lanes. Yeah, this report can mean commercial goods in those bicycle lanes. It could mean that our constituents will be carrying the mattresses and the fridges and all of the things that come along with that in our bicycle lanes. This report legitimizes that. Can't you see that? You know, I really can't wait for the next administration, because I hope to God I'm a part of it, because I'm going to eliminate and try to eliminate everything that we're doing down here at City Hall right now. It is ridiculous what's going on with these bicycle lanes and everything else associated to it. Now, because we have given the go-ahead, even on Bloor and everywhere else with bicycle lanes, we are now having staff saying it's legitimate for you to be bringing your laundry and open mattresses and fridges and everything else down the middle of the street. It reminds me of China. It reminds me of no, it does. And it reminds me of certain countries in South America that just bring it forward for the other reasons. They can't afford the vehicles, so they're using them. Now we want to bring a third world country into the city of Toronto, and you know why? Because we've allowed it. We've opened the doors to these bicycle lanes. And now with me.
The one making it political. This public safety is not, never should be, never will be a political issue. Public safety is not political. So we have the opportunity to end all road fatalities. But why are we dragging our heels? Why are you dragging your heels?
Because there's another component to this, and that's a component that's real, whether you like it or anyone else. And that component is that the majority of Torontonians do not want these bike lanes. I think we lost in the tune of about $3 million a year, just along the Bloor Street.
No.
I think that's the number.
No, it was originally about 800,000 the Toronto Parking Authority thought they would lose, but the report said that it was really about half. And they're always looking for ways to add new paid parking opportunities.
In particular case, you believe it's good, and we can have those cars. Madam Chair, can you please?
Well, it's not
she's
a
interrupting.
It's not a question.
Is it appropriate?
Not the chair.
But it's not a question.
You'd give a woodpecker a headache.
I'm not allowed to do a point of privilege, but that is offensive. So an apology would be in order.
No. Oh, I believe she did.
That would be an apology.
I believe she.
I'm asking for an apology. I'm not a member of the committee. That is highly insulting.
Could you please just apologize to your colleague?
It's not even your joke.
It's not my joke, but I like it.
Waiting.
I'm going to try and ask the question again.
No, I am waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for an apology.
I'm going to ask the question again. I'm not apologizing.
I'm waiting for an apology.
Again. If the cars are not moving,
Chair,
and we all agree that congestion is a factor.
Point of personal privilege.
Yeah, just a minute. Just give us a minute. We're just conferring here. Councillor Mammolitti, we are asking you to apologize to your colleague, your councillor colleague, please.
So there's on one end. On one end, you've got a visiting.
You can't refer to.
You've got a visiting councillor who has come and interrupted my questioning without an apology. She just does what she wants. And on the other end, I'm reacting because she's interfering with my line of questioning. She doesn't apologize at all, but because I referred it to the way I did, I need to do that?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so she wouldn't give a woodpecker a headache. Sorry.
That's not an apology. We'd like an authentic apology.
I said sorry.
Thank you.
Now, can I ask my question? On this committee, I think I'm probably the only one that's had the privilege of working with you in the past. And I want to welcome you to City Hall, and you look fantastic. And I don't want to get into a debate with you.
I know. Councillor Mammolitti,
You know very well why you don't. Thank you.
Madam Chair, when the mayor was in here earlier, I didn't know he was here just for quorum count. I walked in and I actually thought, well, this is a good opportunity for me to ask him some questions on this, because he seems to be moving in a direction to put this through as quickly as possible. And I seem to think there's motive to that. I wanted to ask him whether or not it's just simply a political stunt, wanting the votes, that sort of thing. And I'll ask him at council if I have to, but I really believe that that's the case. And now that I'm diving into the information and how it came about and who's been talked to and who hasn't and how orchestrated, and I must commend Councillor Cressy for the wonderful orchestrated movement that was here today. Everybody had their lines in. They knew exactly what they were talking about, except one of the largest pockets of business people who were not consulted. And when they hit, notice that nobody asked them any questions because they were right. They weren't consulted. The argument that comes out of the mayor's office and some councillors on congestion is incredible. We need to stop congestion. We got to make changes to King Street. We got to make sure that $150 tickets are handed to anybody that stops when they shouldn't. We have to make sure that the tickets are issued by the police department when we see vehicles on any of the streets downtown, because congestion is not needed or wanted in this city. But yet, a report that very clearly says that removing 2 lanes on Bloor Street and the way it is, and recommending the congestion the way it is now increased in the City of Toronto, is now being supported by the mayor, who's arguing against congestion, and councillors that are doing it. It's a complete flip-flop. We're talking out of both sides of our mouth here. That's what's happening. It is slow on Bloor. Businesses are going to suffer, and they are already suffering. We've already heard that. I've seen the polls. Taxpayers do not want to pay for this, whether you like it or not. It's out there. People do not want to pay for this. And in particular, I must add that I've looked at the polls directly in every single ward. Councillor Perutzas, Councillor Carmichael-Greb, Councillor Holiday, and Councillor Robinson. I haven't looked at yours yet, Councillor Lee. I'm sorry. But in every single one of the wards that we're talking about, your taxpayers do not want you to vote in favor of this because they don't want to pay for it. And that's real. And it's huge, the difference in percentage. Huge. I wish you could see it. I know it's there. I think most people know it's there. And I think this thing is being rammed down everyone's throat for the wrong reasons. I know the next administration, I may have a good role to play in that. And I know that one of the first things that I'll do is untangle everything that we're doing down here with respect to this, including this particular bad decision that we're about to make right now. I'd like that opportunity next term of office. I can't force you to do what you want to do today. I know that next time I might have an opportunity to untangle it, and I will, or I'll try to. Councillor Cressy, you spoke eloquently about the amounts of people that wanted to support this and are supporting it, and I hear that, and it's very orchestrated. Okay, but what you have not, I think, been able to read in your own ward, and I apologize for this, are the amounts of people that just do not want it, and they've been shut out of this whole equation. And so when Councillor Davis looks at me and says, how dare you say these things, how, you shouldn't be saying this about staff and all that, I don't have to believe staff. And I could say that if I want on behalf of my taxpayers. I could say that I don't believe the reports that's in front of me for a lot of reasons. I don't believe that the drivers along Bloor Street were consulted. I don't. I don't believe the businesses were consulted properly. I don't believe the consultants, both of them, that we hired did the job properly. And you're starting to hear it finally from the businesses and others now that they know that this is going to be a permanent structure.
5 minutes. Your time's up.